convincing vulnerable people to hand over thousands of dollars. Well, they haven't gone away, and we got a tip-off about a new operator. Here's Brady Halls.
Let's see if he's there. We'll surprise him.
NASA is on the warpath
Oh my God, he's gone. The poster that was here.
to clean up our streets.
Well, one phone call and one appointment, and he's kind of taken off, shut the place down, and he's left all his rubbish here.
Master Yogi must have predicted NASA was on the other end of the phone.
This is what they kind of wear around them to show their holly, and he's actually thrown it in the rubbish. And I bet you the posters are here. I can guarantee you, because when they take off, they dump and they go. Oh my, there it is. They are scammers. Okay, and as soon as they feel the heat, they shut down.
But away from NASA's clutches, these fortune tellers are popping their heads up again around the country.
I know English, little bit understand.
Okay, so if I was a customer, if you didn't know English, then how could you claim to solve my issues?
Melbourne's Master Guruji is in a rush to close up when we visit the world-famous psychic working out of a clothing shop.
How much money are you making?
I don't know.
He's sitting behind the desk, but when we pounce, this one's up and denying.
Health issues, legal issues. What kind of training do you have?
I am doing prayers here. That's it. No problem. I am not doing.
And our most trusted healer in Sydney disappears when we arrive. So much for fixing those sexual and financial problems.
This is an astrology, brother.
Late last year, we exposed these modern-day soothsayers who guarantee to solve all your problems.
And you help me with the court case?
Yeah, definitely helping.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
With an Academy Award-winning show, complete with smoke and mirrors. Thousands of them once plied their wares on street corners across the country and on the internet, ready to empty your wallet.
Right, brother, in your name, according the date of birth and place of birthplace.
Master Yogendra was one of them.
Sometimes you look for answers. What's the future for these kids? What's the future for me? What if I'm not around?
Can do it even
NASA
prayer.
encountered him.
At a low point in my life, I said, you know what? $20.
Desperate to find out what the future holds for his kids who suffer disabilities.
And he said, you have a very, very big problem. You have been cursed. You've got a very bad curse on you. I don't know who's done it, but if you don't remove it, you could have an accident, you could die.
Welcome, nice to meet you.
NASA was the family breadwinner and carer. He was scared, and then he was blackmailed.
It's going to cost you $4,500. I said, what? $4,500? He said, brother, if you don't do it, you are going to have an accident, you are going to be killed.
The Master and his sidekick put on quite a performance to rid NASA of that black magic that had affected his family.
It was an excellent show, and this is where people will be fooled. And to be honest with you, I was fooled. He knew about my kids.
All up, Master Yogendra played on NASA's love of family and vulnerability for $7 grand.
Some words I can understand, some words...
Well, see if you can understand this one.
Yeah.
Scam. Do you understand the word scam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scam.
Do you think you're operating a scam?
No.
No?
No.
Well, why do you take thousands of dollars from people who are at the lowest point of their life?
Please, everybody, please. You see any kind of advertising, any card in the street, walk away. You will be scammed. You will be scammed.
NASA's warning comes too late for Megan. You saw our story.
Yeah,
All the theatrics that was in that story, the reenactments,
exactly the same.
you copped the same thing. The burning.
Yeah, the crying, the oh my
the
God,
screaming.
and the
Really?
but you know.
It was the same show going on in
same
here.
show. Same
We
show.
caught up with Megan just before social distancing.
So
She owns a hairdressing salon on High Street and some bank statements with hefty withdrawals given to a stranger.
Between 10 to 15,000. And they wanted another 15,000 on top to cure in cure my curse and get rid of my black magic.
Hello.
It started innocent
You
enough.
come have a reading, and I was like, okay then, like, okay, you know, I've got a few questions to ask.
She was walking to work and coerced into an arcade.
So you came into this shop quite a few times?
Yes. Sat there quite a few times while they were getting everything ready, and then
Megan,
go in there. I know you tried to warn. I told you.
did you try to warn her? So you saw people coming in here.
Our clients come in,
Yes.
and they were coming and telling us exactly the same. It happened to myself.
Yeah.
It happened to Jenny's friend.
Deborah from the slimming studio across the way saw our story, and guess what happened the next morning?
They didn't return. They,
So after we did that story and went to air, they packed up and moved out.
Leaving the landlord to clean up.
Did they leave and they pay their rent? This lot? Yeah. The Indian bloke? Yeah, the Indian guy. Did he pay his rent?
You were coming fair, eh?
Yeah.
No comment.
Yes, our story had quite an effect, but the damage had been done.
they were sucking all these young ones in as well. So it's really bad.
The young ones were desperate, unemployed, looking for work at this agency. Taking advantage of the vulnerable was a daily sight for Deborah.
Did you see anybody come out of there and they were upset, or anybody come out
A
of
lot
there?
of the times. A lot of the times. But he physically used to walk them up to the bank to take thousands of money out.
You saw that?
Yes.
Oh, that's terrible.
Several times.
That's
yeah.
awful.
Yeah. I'm talking 70-year-old
That's quite criminal, isn't it? to be
disabled people.
Should be escorting disabled and elderly people to
Yeah.
the bank so they can withdraw money
It's
from the
disgusting.
ATM. Oh, it's terrible.
Disgusting.
For her $15,000, Megan has one memento to remind her of the madness she fell for.
That's the last thing that they gave me. That cost me the $1,000.
This cost $1,000?
Yes, this cost $1,000.
Do you mind if I open this
Can I open it?
When you got that for $1,000,
Yeah.
did life change?
No. Yeah, probably for the worst.
But don't think too harshly of these victims. Most were at a low point in their life.
He said in 3 months your children will be cured.
And all of them say, towards the end, they were held against their will.
Once they get you in there, you're not leaving unless you pay them. Like, it's that type of situation, especially a woman being intimidated by 2 guys that, you know, and you just come to ask some questions and find out, you know, a palm reading.
Please stop. Please stop picking on the vulnerable. Okay. This has got to stop.
Master Yagendra perhaps got one thing right. He predicted I'd be coming back. His place now empty. He's not been seen on the streets again. And Megan is now much wiser.
Don't go. Just don't do it.
Victims